Chapter 17. I tugged at Maya. "Give me your car keys." Daegor and Katerina sped by. Maya turned on her heels and dashed for the door.
I'm driving. I've always wanted to be in a chase.
What about my chicken?
Muffin hollered as we flew through the door.
We'll be back.
Maya called.
Oh, hell!
Muffin pouted as she barreled after us. We piled into the car and Maya peeled out of the parking lot.
Where do I go?
She asked. Turn left and head straight down the road. You'll have to speed to catch them. They had to be going at least 15 over the speed limit. She pressed her fashionably heeled foot down on the accelerator. The speedometer read 10 over and then 15. When she was swerving between cars at 20 over, I kept my eye out for the SUV. I wasn't sure about Kat's sedan, but I could spot Daegor's SUV for sure. 3 stoplights away, the SUV turned right. Maya, the SUV turned right.
I saw him!
Maya squealed with delight and slammed her foot on the accelerator. We flew through the first 2 lights and rounded the corner on the third. I squeezed my eyes shut, clinging to my seatbelt. I should have stayed at Cluckety Chicken. Maya's driving was either amazing to the point of her entering a Formula One competition, or miraculous luck that would end in a fiery explosion.
Why are we chasing the SUV?
Muffin asked. Because he's chasing after Katerina. I think she has the trophy, I said.
You mean the twisted blob I cooked in your oven?
Yes, there's something inside of it that everyone wants. I just wish I knew what.
Is it worth something? Like diamonds?
It's worth something, but it's not tangible. At least I don't think so.
I could use some money. Let's steal it and sell it.
Be my guest. I just want Daegor behind bars. Maya squealed around another corner.
There he is! There he is!
Muffin was clearly infected by Maya's excitement, and the bonus that there was money involved.
Do you know how to drift like in those movies?
No, but I could try.
No, I barked. No trying anything unless you're in an empty parking lot and I'm a mile away.
I don't know why we brought her. She's a stick in the mud. Go ahead and drift around the corner. I think you just have to yank up on the emergency brake.
Maya, don't do it. Emergency brakes are for emergencies. This is not an emergency. I scolded, tightening my seatbelt to the strangulation point.
I see the SUV. He's pulling into a business complex.
The complex was old and vacant. Tufts of unruly weeds grew through veined cracks in the pavement. Boards covered the windows. Wooden signs hung loose, faded by the sweltering Nevada sun. It looks abandoned and boarded up, I said. Let's turn around and call the police. Daegor and boarded-up buildings are not good for my health.
Police are bad for my health. Keep going.
Maya swerved into the parking lot and followed the vehicles around the complex and into the back lot. She slowed as we took the last corner and saw Katerina bolting to the complex as Daegor chased her. "Stop!" I yelped. "I don't want Daegor to see us."
He won't see us. He's too busy chasing Katerina,
Muffin said.
Oh, damn! Did you see that?
I watched as Katerina spun around and kicked, nailing Daegor in the shin. He hobbled as he grasped his shin but continued his pursuit and was right behind her. Kat flung open the building's back door. The metal door slammed into Daegor's nose. Blood gushed out. His hand swung to grasp the back of her shirt. I heard a scream as the door shut.
Let's get in there. I want the trophy.
We don't even know what the trophy has in it, and Katerina isn't working alone. She has pepper spray, I argued.
Come on,
Maya said.
Katerina's in trouble. I don't like her, but she'd do the same for us.
No, she wouldn't. She pepper sprayed me today and stole the trophy.
Then we can pepper spray her and steal the trophy back,
Muffin said, swinging open the car door. Maya popped out after Muffin. If Muffin was the only one going in, I'd stay put, but I couldn't let Maya go in without me. I hurried in after them. The thought of pepper spraying Kat had me in a near grin. Muffin was first in the door. We followed her in and stood for a moment. The large, dimly lit office was scattered with heavy, old metal desks. Broken-down cubicle walls littered the walkways, making them nearly impassable. A scream pierced through the desolate office, giving us the direction to head.
She's in the far left office,
Muffin said. Muffin trudged through the office obstacles. Maya hopped and skipped over them, and I banged my toe and shin on every hard surface within the walkway radius. Ouch, I said for what had to be the 15th time. They both shushed me. We neared the office door and slowed to a creeping pace, straining to hear sounds.
I want the trophy back or I'll shoot Katerina.
Go ahead and shoot her, then I'll shoot you and leave here with the trophy.
The trophy is mine.
It's never been yours. I've been tracking it since French Guiana, long before the drug lords gave orders.
I'm dead if I don't give it to them.
More will die if I give it to you. So by killing you, or having them do it for me, I'm saving lives.
I crept to the door. Peeking through the crack, I saw both men pointing their guns at each other. Dagor appeared shaken. The gun rattled in his hand while his nose oozed with blood, staining his shirt and the floor. Pierre was calm. Too calm. He seemed at ease with the situation and in control. Katerina was to the side and slightly behind Pierre. Her face was pale with a cut under her eye, but she seemed confident in her partner's ability to keep her safe.
What if we team up?
Dagor asked. Pierre cracked a brief and empty smile.
I think not. You're quivering with your gun. What happened? Did the drug lords find you and give you an ultimatum?
I'm desperate. They changed their deadline. I need the trophy tonight. They already have men waiting in the U.S.
That's why you never work with the cartel. Muffin bumped me out of the way.
Move over. I want to see.
A movement out of the corner of my eye caught my attention. Someone else was in the main office. We weren't alone, and they didn't want to be seen. This had the makings of a trap. Maya, we have to go, I whispered. She'd heard the dialogue between the two men, and her face was drained of all rosiness. She wasn't going to be a hard sell to leave. I motioned for her to lead us. I wanted her out first. Not that I had any way to protect her, but it seemed like a good idea. I didn't check to see if Muffin was following. She was on her own. If Dagor or Pierre didn't nab her, the police would. Maya was scurrying over the last cubicle obstacle when the partition gave way. She collapsed with a thud. The creak and groan of metal and crashing wall broke through the silence. I frantically helped Maya back up. "Hurry," I whispered. Maya stood up, shaking. Hurrying out the door would be impossible. I glanced back to see Muffin nearly on top of us, with Dagor and Pierre in close pursuit. Muffin bulldozed through, plucking Maya off the cubicle landslide and running toward the door. As Muffin pushed past, my foot fell through the cubicle fabric. The weight of the metal frame crushed around me, pinning me in place. I struggled to free myself, but within seconds, the unforgiving metal of a gun barrel pressed into the back of my head. Both of my hands flew up to signal yield.
She's mine,
Dagor growled.
Go get the others.
Pierre ordered.
I don't care about them. I only want the trophy and Nadia. Then I'm leaving the country.
I don't care what you want. She's not leaving here until I know who she's working for.
I'm not working for anyone, I pleaded. Pierre used the framing to jump over me and run to the door. He cracked it open with his gun to peek out.
They're gone,
he said, slamming the door.
Who were they? I should shoot you for spying?
Shoot Dagor first and deal with me second. The blunt end of Dagor's gun smashed down on my head. My hands flew to the back of my head as pain seared its way through my scalp. The sensation of blood trickling through my fingers and down my arms made me queasy. My stomach groaned against its lining. I'd never believed someone could see stars when they received a hard blow to the head, but sure enough, little pinpoints of light swirled in my hemisphere. My leg remained trapped by the cubicle frame. I leaned my weight against the broken wall to prop myself up.
Leave her alone until my questions are answered.
Pierre snarled at Dagor. He lifted the twisted metal off my leg to free me.
Get into the office. Dagor, if you want to live without bullet holes in you, then leave now.
If I was Dagor, I would have run. Pierre's words weren't a threat. They were a promise. But upon seeing me, Dagor's composure renewed, and he sneered at Pierre. His gun no longer rattled in his clammy hands. I rubbed my newly freed leg with my blood-covered hands, accidentally smearing the red stain on my clothes and skin. Crawling the rest of the way, a movement behind Pierre and Dagor caught my attention. Someone was definitely hiding here. I hoped they were friendly. They were very careful not to get caught. A gun nudged my back, spurring me to hurry. I scrambled along the collapsing walls and found my way to the office. I paused at the door before the gun jabbed me forward. The hard metal barrel bruised my skin. "Stop poking me with the gun," I said, rubbing my sensitive skin.
Get in there.
I stepped through the doorway to see Katerina inspecting the trophy. Her eyes drifted to me as I entered. She made no sign or movement that she intended to help me. Instead, her eyes glittered and her lips curled, showing just a hint of her teeth.
If you boys need any help with her, I have some pepper spray left. I know she loves it.
Pierre glanced at Katerina but didn't give the order to have me sprayed. Instead, he steered me to an old metal chair with a cracked and weathered leather cushion. I sank down into it, relieved my knees wouldn't have to support my shaking weight any longer. I watched as Pierre leaned against a desk. His hand still wielded his gun, though it wasn't pointed directly at me.
Who were your friends?
There was no harm in telling him general information. He might even be satisfied and wouldn't pursue the matter. The giant one is a con artist who wants the trophy but doesn't know what its value is or why anyone would want it since she was the one who cooked it. The blonde was just driving us because we had no other means of transportation. His eyes set on me intensely. He didn't speak right away.
Why were you at the tournament? Were you trying to win the trophy?
Of course I was trying to win. I needed the money, not the trophy.
Then how did you become involved?
His questioning made me slightly relax. He wasn't like Dagor. Dagor would have beaten or strangled me in an attempt to wrench the information. With Pierre, we were chatting like we were at a tea party. Minus the tea, add some guns and blood. Caleb won the tournament. He always wins. He sent the trophy to me so he didn't have to lug it home.
Does he know what the trophy is?
No, and neither do I. Why would anything of value be placed inside a trophy? He smirked.
It was a mistake. The trophy had an identical twin and was to be transferred to a drop-off spot. It was discovered that they were switched.
Why does everyone want it?
That's none of your concern. Now I know you are of no use and will only get in my way.
Let me get rid of her for you.
Dagor said. I could hear his excitement blooming at my impending demise. He was nearly panting from delirious delight. Pierre held up his hand, stopping him from continuing.
Not quite yet. I know Sergio has been around your apartment. What's he to you?
He asked me.
He was working for me.
Dagor answered instead.
But since I had the trophy, I cut him out of the deal. Then she stole it.
He sneered at Katerina. Katerina stood her ground.
It was easy enough. If you weren't so keen on getting into my pants, then you'd be out of the country with the trophy.
And you'd be dead. It's a mistake I don't intend to make again.
I watched them both with a wary eye. It answered my question as to why Katerina was still alive.
Enough,
Pierre said.
Katarina, tie her up.
Katerina's callous laugh filled the room as she picked up a piece of rope from the desk. She grabbed at my wrists. As she bent to tie the rope, I elbowed her. She stumbled back, holding her jaw where my hit landed.
Please behave yourself or I'll have Dagor shoot you.
Pierre said, seeming bored with the whole situation. as if this was just another chess move in a drearily long game.
If you don't need her, then let me shoot her now.
Daegor said.
If you shoot her now, then I'll shoot you. Back off. I'm using her as bait.
Bait for what?
Katerina asked as she resumed binding my wrists together. She bound my ankles too, but left some slack.
There are too many people involved. She'll lure a couple of them out, and I will settle this once and for all.
I remembered the movement I had seen in the main office area. Someone was out there. They must know what's going on. Surely the person would save me.
Let's get going. I don't know if the blonde and her linebacker called the police, but I don't want to linger. Katerina, take the trophies. Daegor, take the girl, but don't kill her yet.
Daegor gripped me by the back of the neck and yanked me out of my seat.
You are so lucky. I would have killed you by now.
I'm not feeling too lucky either way, I said.
Shut it.
He growled, digging his gun into my back. Daegor and I were first to leave, followed by Katerina and then Pierre. I stumbled my way through the cluttered walkway with my bindings. I was only able to move a few inches at a time, all the while Daegor's gun dug its way into my back. I scanned the room to see if anyone was still around. I couldn't detect any movements. I needed an ally in my corner. There were 2 guns and pepper spray, and I was tied up like a hog ready for the barbecue. Muffin would never call the cops to rescue me, but Maya might. She wouldn't leave me here when she knew Daegor was after me. Then again, Muffin could overpower Maya and almost anyone else.
Into the vehicle.
Daegor demanded. I headed toward the SUV with my tiny steps. This would be faster if you untied my ankles, I said.
Are you in a hurry to die?
I shut my mouth. The sound of tires crunching their way through decrepit pavement made us all turn. 5 black luxury SUVs drove through the lot, blocking off the exit and sealing us in the back lot.
Shit, they're early.
Daegor growled, jerking me in front of him to use as a human shield. His hands tightened around my upper arms, squeezing off blood flow. He had every reason to be nervous. The drug lords had arrived, and there was no escape. For any of us.